Hi, welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers. This is just going to be a quick rundown of this new saber I was commissioned to build, a custom piece. Just a couple of the highlights. It's a MHS based saber that I've custom machined to be able to fit my patented, actually it's not patented, at least not yet, crate bone technique, and of course a projection lens for the bar graph. That's on the internal Crystal Focus version 6. Leather wrapped grip. It's the first time I've really kind of delved into a leather wrapped saber. Something I've been thinking about for a while, I haven't quite done. And with a weathered saber, doing things like a leather wrap are a little bit more forgiving because you can stain elements of it and rub elements of it, and it actually contributes to the look of the saber. So it's a good saber to try to experiment and wanted to do a real solid leather grip that's going to stand up to dueling and all the other things that you might do with a saber like this. Of course, you've got a kill key. It exposes the recharge port, which is a 2.1mm recharge port. When the kill key is in, the saber's not usable. It cuts off power to the saber. When the kill key's out, it's ready to go. You can hear the boot up sound, and of course you can see the projection lens is projecting the 7 segments of the bar graph onto whatever surface. And you've got your activation button and your auxiliary button, which is the brass button. Blade goes in, power on, you get a bright green blade, flash on clash. I'm going to quickly go through some of the things in this saber just from a user's point of view. With my Genesis Custom Elite sabers, you can remove, with the kill key out, if you have the kill key in it, you don't want to unscrew it, but with the kill key out, you can unscrew the body of the saber. Now this one's quite tight, so you can feel it rubbing against the PVC in there. Now that's safe, but it just, this one's a tighter fit, and so I'm going to use it as an excuse to show you something. Now when I sell these sabers, I lubricate the threads with a very, very small amount of grease. You don't need to lubricate the threads, but the important thing with MHS threads or any aluminum threads is to keep them clean. And for that, I use an old toothbrush. With an old toothbrush, every couple of times you open up the saber, every 5 or 6 times, you brush the threads out like this. You will never need to lubricate them again, but this will keep them clean and will keep them from binding and causing you all kinds of problems. So on a saber like this, that is a tight fit, you want to just every once in a while, that's just kind of regular maintenance for a saber like this. Now that's the only part that I permit to be unscrewed. You could unscrew the pommel too, that's no big deal. But the rest of the saber is meant to stay together so that you don't tear any of the wires inside. Of course, when the saber is screwed together, the recharge port here matches up with this hole. If for whatever reason it ever slips out of alignment, it is possible with a 1/16 Allen key to use this set screw, loosen it off just a little bit, counterclockwise, just a tiny bit, fraction of a turn, then you'd be able to kind of move this and line it up, and then tighten it up a little bit, not too much. Probably best if you just leave it. There's a little mark there that lines up with the set screw. It should never come out of alignment. There's no reason that it would. But of course you can see now the Crystal Focus and the onboard bar graph. If you want to get access to the SD card to change the sound fonts, kill key goes in, and I use the eraser of a pencil, and you can reach right in there and you can just put pressure. You hear the click, pops out the micro SD card, which you can use then pliers, some hot glue strings on there from some of the hot glue earlier, and you can pull out that SD card, pop that in the adapter, it goes in your computer. You can make changes, add new sound fonts that you buy at saberfont.com. When you're ready, you patiently fit the SD card back in the slot, and then use the pencil again to click, pop it into place, pull out the kill key. You should hear a boot up sound. Then you know that everything's working properly. The saber goes back together. Okay, so I've got the saber hooked up to rice. I want to make sure that it's actually connected. So I'll turn it on, and we'll go to general, lower the volume. Yep, I can tell it lowers in real time. So I've got the saber connected. I want to go to LED now. I want to point out something really important. This is an RGGB, and the two greens, GG, are linked. So normally I wouldn't exceed 1,000 milliamps in any of these current 1, 2, or 3 settings. But because this has got two greens linked, I can exceed 1,000 milliamps. I can go up to 2,000 milliamps if I want to on the green. It gives it much brighter, and you can tell there's a bright green there. So I can go up to 2 amps there. I don't want to go over 1,000 milliamps on any of these other two. If I was using a tri-cree for red, I wouldn't want to exceed 700 milliamps. So you really need to know the limit of your LED when you're playing around with this. Otherwise, you could push the slider up too high and you could accidentally pop one of the dice on your LED, which on a saber like this, a very complicated saber, would be a real headache. So you want to make sure you know your LED and know your limits. I don't know what the RICE stands for, but the real-time editor that you use on your computer, there's actually another port there. That's the RICE port. So you plug in your RICE cable to this, and you can plug the saber into your computer, and you can then customize the all kinds of things with the crystal focus. So you really only ever need to take out the SD card to change the sound fonts. Everything else is configurable on your computer. So that's this saber. I'll be shipping it out to the new owner very soon. Thanks for watching.